Hi, this is a quick video about these 7 prints right here. I want to talk about how these have Mexican influence on them. Starting with the most obvious piece with Mexican influence here is this one is titled Llorona. Inspiration for this is of course the legend of La Llorona and also a song I'm not sure how well it's known outside of Mexico, but there's a song titled Llorona, which is why this piece is not titled La Llorona. I got rid of the pronoun and just put Llorona. And it talks about a woman that is weeping, and depending on who sings it, the lyrics are a little bit different, the music is a little bit different. It's very typical of Mexicans to take things and make them their own. So the way I made this my own is I gave her 4 faces. On the legend, she doesn't have multiple faces, just one, but I really wanted to show that she's obsessed with her sadness. I put the moon here, I stabbed her. The moon symbolizes emotion, so the emotions really got a hold of her. And with the legend, she's normally by a body of water, so I put the water here. Her dress is dragging the water with her because she's carrying her sadness and her emotions with her. Moving on to slightly less obvious influence here. This is the Three of Swords, which in my version is the Three of Thorns. There's 3 thorns, and I wanted thorns just because I feel like this is something that would be really painful. This is a sad tarot card, and I feel like sadness is a motif in Mexican culture and Mexican art. And I blended in the color specifically on the heart, on the eye, and on the thorns. It's reminiscent of Mexican murals. Moving to a little less obvious is these 4 guys right here. Owl, 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 owl. That's kind of hard to say when English is not your first language. In Spanish, owls can be tecolotes, lechuzas, búhos. Depending on who you talk to, people have stories about owls, and they're typically bad omens where they represent death, like this guy right here, or they turn into witches. And of course, there's stories about witches shape shifting into owls. This guy right here, his name is Ojos Rojos. His name is Red Eyes in Spanish, and of course he has the skeletal face. You can see the skeleton nose here, and he hasn't slept very well. He's kind of over it. This piece is about difficult times and having to accept things, let go of things, and move on. Pluto is symbolic for death and rebirth, and death is a big topic in Mexican culture. This is Stolas right here. Stolas is a demon. This piece is a doodle that became a finished illustration. The doodle comes in all the scribbly parts of the owl. The finished parts are more smoothly shaded, so that way this looks nice and cohesive. And of course, making a quick reference to owls being witches, I gave them 6 eyeballs, which makes them a little bit scary to some people. I don't think any of my illustrations are scary, but that scares people sometimes. And of course, the moon. This piece here, this is titled Cryptids. This guy here is a total cryptid. He has the owl head. There's no body here, it's just the head. And he has bat wings. He has big horns. The eye reflections right here, there's a tiny skull and tiny crossbones on both of the eyes. The reflections are a reference to Xibalba's eyeballs on the movie The Book of Life. On the background, there's 4 ghosts that are kind of fused on the bottom into a singular piece, just floating right above the moon in the sky in the middle of the night. It's not uncommon in Mexican culture. We all know one person who has a fantastical story about some creature that they saw. And these creature stories, they always turn into some sort of cautionary tale. This one also plays into that whole fantastical, a lot of details, cautionary tale type of thing. This piece here, this is the Moon Tarot card. I combined here the face of a really moody owl with the crescent moon, and the whole piece still has that painterly effect similar to Mexican murals. There's a tiny sapo right here. One thing I didn't notice until recently is that when you look at this piece as a whole and out of context, this kind of reminds me a little bit of the Loteria cards. This one right here is one of my personal favorites, and it's not very obvious, but I feel like it's really important for my work at least. I titled this piece Melancholy because I didn't want it to just be sad. There's a complexity and a depth to the sadness that this one has. I make sure that the eyes have a lot of emotion in them because I wanted this piece to be felt by people who view it. And there's a tiny hint of color on the irises. And the bottom teeth mouth area kind of looks like it's pouting a little bit, so it's an overall pretty complex sad face. I'm making another video with this piece to talk about melancholy and sadness in Mexican culture because I feel like that's a very large theme in culture in general. I hope you enjoy these videos. I've been having a lot of fun with this guy and just talking about my pieces. It's a nice way to escape from reality a little bit, a way to cope. And for those of you wondering, no, I am not picking anybody's nose with this thing. Thank you. See you.